Good morning to everyone. I'm academic counselor H. Biswas. So today the new course for MBA, that is MMPC 002. Course title is Human Resource Management. In short, is the HRM. Now today, I discuss about the first. I will give you some overview of the course. How many blocks are there, and how many units are there. That part. Then I have to try to cover up the block one. So today the session is block one session, where the 3 units, the concept and the evolution of the HRM, and the function of the HRM, and third unit is the environment and the HRM. The block 2 actually sourcing of the human resource, the resources of the from the where the resources are coming, and for that there are again 3 units are there. That is HR planning. There are 5 units: HR planning, job analysis, design and evaluations, and recruitment and selections. And unit number 7 is your socialization and mobility. So now see the third block. There is a compensation management, performance and compensation management. So unit number 8 is the performance appraisals. 9 is your career development. Unit number 10 is training and development. Unit 11 is your compensation and reward management. And block number 4 is employer-employee relations, where some of the contents of the units are employee empowerment, and your grievance handling and discipline management procedures. And the last unit number 40 is your unions and associations. So if you see the structure of the courses, so block 1 basically your overview of the HRM, basically the introduction part. 2 is from the where the resources are coming, I mean the sources. Then third is regarding your compensation, performance and compensation part. And then finally, employee-employee relations. Now we have to first try to clear the concept of the HRM. So you must treat your employees, because it's a lot of theory is there, principle is also there. Main thing is human resource, that's like a human capital. Don't treat it as a product or some of the instrument or some machines, because human can create a lot of things. It's not just like a product, and can lead the people's innovative the things, and for increase the productivity of the company. So that's why some special treatment is required for the human resource. So dignity, and the most of the automated factory in the world, you need the power of human mind. That is what brings the innovations. So if you want high quality minds to work for you, then you must protect the respect and the dignity. Who says? This is Mr. N.R. Narayanamurthy. He is the founder of the Infosys Limited. He says the human capital, you have to give a dignity and a respect. There are 5 management theories are there, basically, or we can say the M, management. Within the management, there are 5 M's are there. Is defined like the men, money, machines, materials, and methods. So you see, everywhere the M is there. So HRM deals with the first M, is the men. Basically, HRM deals with the men. So that's why you can see the human resources. Now, what is the HRM? Try to understand what is the HRM. So HRM is the process of acquiring, developing, maintaining, and retaining the human resources in an organization with the strategic objectives of achieving the organizational goals. Other way also, there are a lot of definitions are there. Other way also, you can say human resource management is a strategic and coherent approach to the management of an organization. Most valued asset, people working there who individually and collectively contribute to the achievement of its objectives. The individual objectives as well as the organizational objectives also there, and that both the objectives should be aligned. So that is strategically you have to see the so that the energy can be synchronized. Now see the evolutions of the HRM. So HRM has evolved from the personal management, that is Elton Mayo, F.W. Taylors, and the Robert Owen play a significant role. They have observed and lot of theories they have developed based on their observations. They are saying, they are basically, that's why you are saying the founder of the human relations movement. So in the 1920s, they have started these things, and they have feel that significant role of the human natures. He emphasized the influence of the human relations on the worker productivity. Taylor has developed a differentiated compensation systems that rewards employees with higher performance levels, because the performance are correlated with your compensations, because compensation package are to be maintained, are to be formulated based on the performance levels. So that are still used in the company. He promoted the scientific management 4 principles that he has developed. So let's see what are the 4 principles. Then now, part of the evaluation of the HRM, he evaluated tasks by the dissecting its components, select the employees that had appropriate skills for a task, provide the workers and the incentives and training to do a task, and finally use the science to plan how workers perform their jobs. So now then, period before the industrial revolutions that we have to see, and different perspectives. Before the revolutions, what was there? And period of the industrial revolution, that is 1750 to 1850, that is the era, and post-industrial revolutions. So there drastically changes from the work cultures and how to treat the people. That is the things. Now, strategic human resource management approach with increase in technology and knowledge-based industries and globalization competitions. HRM is one part. Now we have to add on top of it is the strategies, because the organization, every organization has some major strategic planning is there, which is decided by the CEO and top management levels, board of directors. And that time some of the strategies are there. Lot of other strategies are there. Now, HRM, what are the HRM strategies have to be clubbed with the main strategies. Now, that's why it is important. Earlier it was not like this. Earlier the strategic part was basically the budgetary of the finance, overall recruitment process, production area, marketing area. See, HRM was not in the pictures. But now the main strategic planning program. HRM is also one of the main part. So that's why the strategic human resource management approach with increase the technology and knowledge-based industries and globalization competitions. HRM is assuming more critical role today. So that's why the HRM role is critical today. HRM is assuming a more critical role today. Its major accomplishment is aligning individual goals and objectives with the corporate goals and objects. So strategic HRM focuses on actions that differentiate the organization from its competitors and aims to make long-term impact on the success of the organizations. Basically, you can see there are, if we distinguish in it, there are main three parts. Acquire, then developed, and make them and to retain them. This is one of the aspects, one of the area of HRM. Or we can say rather is a challenge area. If we see that there are three areas basically, challenge areas. One is your acquire the manpower, then develop them through this training program and so many things, and then try to retain them. That is one of the aspects. Then put it in the, give them the compensation packages based on the performance matters. So there, then second part area is challenging part, your compensations package, what should they pay, and performance. That is one of the second area, I can say, the more challenging area. Third part, to put them or align them in the productivity, innovation part, research and development part, develop them towards these things. So that is the, globally, all the organizations are, these three area are very challenge areas. So as I said, there are three things. Now coming to strategic human resource management approaches, which increase the technology basically. And then I think it is repeated now, same thing. Now, stages of the development of the HR. There are, the modern concept of the HRM has developed through the following stages. There are some of the stages that they, what are the stage? That is the commodity concept, then your factor of the production concept, the paternalistics concept, paternships, then your humanitarians concept, the behavioral HRM concept, and the emerging concept. So different modern concept has been developed. As per the Gupta 1997, he has developed some of the stages. The growing importance of the service sector in the Indian economy has also highlighted the importance of the change in approach by the personnel and administrative department. The profile of an employee in the new scenario has the following features. What are the features? The employee are mostly in their mid-20s or early 30s. All employees are educated and their level of general awareness is high. Employees are more committed to the professions than to the organizations. It is talking about the new scenario basically. Then the rate of attritions and the level of mobility of the employees among the organizations are high. I mean the turnover, basically the people are coming and joining and go back. going to the, and they are leave the organizations, so that that's why the attrition has to be reduced and retention policy to be adopted so that the rate of attrition should be low. Now, some of the objectives and functions are there, HRM. So, HRM objectives and the supporting functions, because all the objectives, some supporting function is required to fulfill these things. Societal objectives, I mean the social point of view, there are some legal compliances, benefits, human management relations. So that is the all our supporting functions are there. So fulfill these object of your first one, societal objectives. Number two is your operational objectives. To fulfill the operational objectives, we require some of the supporting functions. Those are HR planning, employee relations, employee relations, then your selection, training and development, appraisal systems, and the placement. These all are your part of your operational objectives. Means if all the supporting functions are not functioning properly, then it may affect or it may impact on the operational objectives. Then your functional objectives, that is appraisals, placement, assessment, is all that is the your required for your basically appraisal assessment and is very important. Appraisal systems and your assessment and placement, no doubtly. Then personal objectives, how to fulfill this, what type of support function is required, that is training and development. Because through this training and development, you have to develop the individuals, personal levels, and in turn it will benefit to the organizations. Then appraisal, placement, compensations, and assessment. So this is the structure of the HRM objectives and the functions. That is some central subsystems of an organizations. That is in the center of the HRM subsystems. It is interconnected with other subsystems. That is your finance, material subsystems, then your marketing, technical. So this is the way it is interconnected. Basically, HRM, technical support, and material altogether, these all are connected. So there is some of the central subsystems diagram is given. Now the importance of the HRM can be discussed at the 4 levels. Now what is the important part? One is the corporate levels, professional levels, social and national levels. There are 4 levels HRM can be discussed. Now, significance for a corporate levels. So in the corporate level, that is attracting, retaining, planning, recruitment, selection, placement, orientation, compensation, promotion, policies, all are your significance part for the corporate levels. Now, developing the necessary skills and right attitudes among the employees through TND, training and development, and performance appraisals. So this is the way we can develop the things. So it is a significant part of your corporate levels. So, but the important part is there. Now, then securing the willing cooperations of the employees through the motivation, because it is very much needed. A grievance handling is also there, because if the employees' unhappiness or any grievances, that should be redressed by the management, That's why in the HRM, one cell is their grievance handling cell, first sections. They are looking after the employees' problems. If any complaints has reached, that has to be clear as soon as possible, so that employee can be happy and they can rejoin or redo work again with a full fledged. So ensuring that the enterprise will have a team of competent and dedicated employees, because the routine work is there that has to be fulfilled. But at the same time, uh, manager levels and the seniors has to look after, so that they should be competent enough, and slowly they can reach to the desired levels, and they can commit it to the work, and dedicatedly they can do this work. Professional significance. Now, professional significance is providing the maximum opportunities for personal development of each employee. That's why you have to create some of the career path, career development programs, training development programs, so that you have to give some maximum opportunities. Promotion policies is all are, so that everybody can get it, everybody can develop, and they can reach their desired levels. Maintaining the healthy relationships between the individuals and different work groups. That is also what are the workforce is there. So they should work in a group as a team and maintain their healthy relationship. There should not be any conflict. They should not reach in a stress levels. So if the environment is good and the relation is good, there will be chances of conflict will be drastically reduced. So allocating the work properly. Another thing is equity. Proper job allocations is very important, so that they should not feel, any employee should not feel I am overloaded, or somebody not feel that I am underloaded. Means I am enough capacity, I am intelligent, but I'm not getting the jobs. So both the way it will be, somebody has overloaded, somebody is not. Things. So some allocation of the work is also important. Another part is, during the allocation of the work, you have to see their capacity, their knowledge levels, health, also see, so that there shouldn't be any hazard, unhappy. If they work with the unhappy or without the job satisfactions, so it will be major impact on the product. Now, the social significance, that is providing the suitable employment that provide the social and your psychological satisfaction to the people. That is important. So that's why maintaining a balance between the jobs available and job seekers in terms of numbers, qualifications, needs, and aptitudes. So that is you have to balance in that way. What are the jobs? Exactly what are the terms and conditions are there? Their qualification, they are fit for this or not. So that part is you have to see, so that they can feel happy. Yes, I am in the right persons and the right jobs. I mean, in short, right people should be in the right positions with the right pay. Now, eliminating waste of human resources through the conservations of physical and mental health. So that is one of the major issue nowadays. So you keep in how to conservative his health and the mental health, to maintain the health continuously, so that they can continue their work, and sustainability. You can maintain their sustainability basically without wasting the human manpower. Now, National significance is another part. Human resources and their management plays a vital role in the development of nations. Countries are underdeveloped because the people are backward. It is true. So according to Fuel, management functions are universal in public and private organizations. According to Simon, his management is the art and science of getting things done. So different authors say different way. They have to the meaning of the significant. They have to things. Now the scope of the HRM. What are the scope of the HRM? It consists of the following functions: setting the general and specific management policy for relationships, establishing and maintaining suitable organizations for leaderships and cooperations, then collective bargaining, negotiation, contract administrations, and the grievance and dealing. These all are the functions. Stopping, finding, getting, and the holding the prescribed types and number of workers, then developed of the employees at all levels. You have to give us some aid. Some of the system should be there through training program or other way, so that all the levels should be developed. Growth, skills, and the experiences also. So developing the maintaining the motivation of the workers, and it is a continuous process. Reviewing and the auditing your manpower management is also important. Then it's industrial relations research, carrying out studies designed to explain the employees' behavior and thereby affecting the improvement in manpower management. This is very essential nowadays because analysis part is there. Employees' behavior nature has to be checked because it will ultimately affect in the production also. Then the scope of the HRM is very wide. If you see, there are different scopes there, and it is company to company, size of the company, diversified company. There are different type of work is there, varieties section. Then their scope of the HRM will be also increased. So it will focus on these things. So it studies various aspects. Some of the things are labor and the personal aspect. Then it is concerned with the manpower planning, recruitment, selections, placement, incentives, productivity, etc. These all are the part of the labor and personal aspect. Then 2 is your welfare aspect, where the aspect is concerned with the working conditions, because welfare, even in the sitting arrangement also, AC environment where they are working, is it hygienic or not, pure water is available or not, drinking water is there or not. So that everything are to be seen, so that working conditions or what are the amenities that there, basic amenities are fulfilling or not by the organizations. That is the important part. That is the welfare aspect part. Even new organizations nowadays, most of the multinational companies, they have increased also. I mean, those who are working women or as a small child, where they kept it, so that some place should be there in between they can go and see their children's and again come back to the work, especially the factory women. So this is very needed. So that is also welfare aspect. Then the industrial relations. This is another aspect, and initially we are neglecting this area, but now industrial relations is very important, where the union and management relations should be good. there should not be much differences. If the gap is there, gap means understanding gap, communication gap, any gap, that gap should be bridged, I mean, in such a way so that always continuous conversation, continuous communication, flow of informations, what are the strategies taken by the organizations, company, the management and the union leaders, or the way there should be flow of information should be maintained, and correlations, basically the correlations are very important. So that settlement of the industrial dispute will be easy, and that's why the union management relations is important. Now, human resource management is a process of bringing the people and organizations together so that the goal of the each are met. That is the one the definition. It has the following features. What are the following features? Pervasive force, action oriented, individual oriented, people oriented, future oriented, development oriented. Then you're integrating the mechanisms, comprehensive functions, auxiliary services, interdisciplinary functions, and the continuous functions. Apart from that, because of the new technology are coming, automations, or we can say the AI tools, there's AI, there is also another orientation, you can say it, another functions are there. Everybody has to accustom this, I mean, perform, so that they can easily perform the things. That is one of the features nowadays. The major component of the HRM are as follows. What are the major component? Human resource organizations, human resource planning, human resource systems, recruitment management, and then information management, then your training management, performance management, reward management, career management. These all are the part of your HRM. Basically, within this umbrella, HRM, under this umbrella, all these systems are there. The components is theirs. So it is now bigger and bigger. The HR family, I mean, earlier only the pay sections, payroll sections, and some leave or this much were one or two persons were there in the HRM. And if we see, go back to the 50 years, 100 years before, that time company was not, it was neglected area, HRM. Now, you see, slowly, globally now it is recognized and realized by the every concerns that the HRM department is really now number one. Most of the from the HRM leaders are taken care by the CEO of the, most of the CEO are coming from this area, from the HRM. Because you see, they have to how to handle the humans, how to develop them, creativity, innovations, research systems, everything are coming by the. So that's why you have to be careful about that, how to handling the humans, and so skilling, upskilling, everything are things. So you have to see their performance, how to increase their performance levels through this training program or some reward or career management through this career path, career progress. So all are the components. Now, health and safety management, this is now another area. And as we know, after the COVID-19, that era was gone. Now we have learned a lot of things from this. So how to maintain the health, I mean the individual health, organizational health as such, and what type of safety and security is required. Discipline management, another area, cultural management, and diversity management is also there, which as it is not written with any other. Diversity management is also very important. It's one of the upcoming area, very, especially in our India, that is a very required diversity management. Then human resource management, human resource development, another area. Then human resource relationships, human resource utilizations, human resource accounting, HRA, and human resource audit. So all the functions are, the components are there. Now it is a slowly, now it is bigger. I mean, the area of the HRM is slowly widening. Now, managerial functions are basically planning, organizing, directing, and control. These four areas are basically the managerial functions. Operative functions, that is your HR sourcings, then job analysis, uh, job descriptions, job specifications, then your HR planning, recruitment, selection, placement, induction or orientation program. These all are your operative functions. Now, performance and the development part, their performance appraisal systems are there, annual, half-yearly or annually. You have to see their, assess their performance, and that should be recorded and analysis by the HR teams. Then training is one of the aspects for the action immediately for scaling or requirement based on the requirement. The training program should be there. Then management development is another aspect, because for futuristic, you see that after 2 years or 3 years, where do you want to go? I mean, the organization should go there, or new project is launching, new project is coming. So accordingly, you have to prepare for their teams and group of people, leadership skills, and other things have to be ready for these things. So that's why the management training program is required, development. Then career planning and development, then internal mobility or transfer from one position to other positions, some sort of orientation, because in particular one positions, so there may not be a growth for the employee. So for changing this, their potential, so to develop their potential, or to, you can say, explore their potentiality, you have to mobility is there, maybe transfers, the positioning of the location, positioning of the a job also, transfer the promotions and demotion, something, sometimes maybe some sort of punishment part if we are not doing at par, so maybe demotions. Why this demotion part is there? Because so that those who are really hard worker, doing good work, to promote them, to encourage them, so that they should feel okay. If I not work hard, or if I not fulfill my objectives, or any something is wrong, so the chances will be reduced. They can demotivate me. So that's why some provision should be there. It is for the good health, healthy atmosphere of the company, and some competitive, to create the competitive natures. Then retentions and the retention policy should be there. Retrenchment management. Retrenchment is a worst case if something is no way out. To downsizing the company is very much needed. Then only you have to go for these things. There are a lot of terms and conditions are there. So that type of part is to be there. Then change and the organizational development is also there. As the change isn't, something has to be changed. Strategical change. So what action to be taken, and what type of preparation is required, awareness development. So many aspects are there for the change and the organizational development process. Then third is your compensation management. It's very important, because pay scales basically pay basic GNS allowances and other things to be seen if the employee are happy or not. And not only that, is as per the competitive, as per the market, you have to see it. They should be well-being, and they can leave the happily. Integration is another part, and your employee relations. Then compensation management, as I said, there are job evolutions, wage and salaries, administrations, incentives, bonus, fringe benefits, allowances, different type of allowances, social security measures. These all are part of your compensation management. That things are separately MMPC, those who are taking the HR specializations. In the third semesters, it will be detailed, another course is there as such. Compensation management, MMPC 005 or 6 something. So this is the way MMPC, MMPH, actually MMPH series, they are all are elaborated, and as another course is there. Now integrations part is there, employee engagement, then your employee moral systems. Counseling is another part, so that you can motivate the people, or you can see any problems, employees welfare, children's welfare, then ethics and the HR. These all are part of your integration part through this way. Now employee relations. Their grievance redressal system should be there, where if any problems, employees, then that can be sorted out by the discussion with the management and the complainer, I mean the employees. Some disciplinary management should be there if anything is wrong. So that's why everybody has to follow these rules and regulations as per the desired levels by the company, set it by the rules. For that, some policy should be there for this. Then union management, it is also important. It's all other part of the employee relations. Emerging functions in the HR. What are the HR emerging functions? That is really important. So apart from these above mentioned functions, which I have just now discussed, there are some other emerging functions in there that are listed below. That has been which are basically advancing at a faster rate. And the recent trends are, so in order to compete or in order to maintain the survival in the market, so any company has to go through the strategic HRM. As I say, the HRM is separate things. But what are the strategies for the HRM that should be aligned with, clubbed with main object, main strategies. So that's why, suppose for strategic decision for the finance, strategy for marketing. Similarly, strategic HRM has to be included in the main agenda points. Then only we can have a overall, in a macro level, we can see it. Then ethics and the HRM, that's one of the important part things. Then HR accounting, because accountability is required. So, because it is a very difficult task, how to maintain the accounting. So, every should be HR activities should be accounting part, and that has to be scrutinized time to time. So that's why the audit is there. Audit has to assess the things. Yes, all the objectives are fulfilled or not. What are the assigned jobs are really justified or not, and where the loopholes, why he has not finished it up based on the performance level, you have to see. So audit is very important part. This is the HRM audit basically, HR audit. Research, definitely development is the research on the human part capital only. And international HRM is also important. This is one of the area, because if the particular company are trading with the other countries, or maybe the new product has to be, a new factory has to try to launch the new office setup for the other countries. So what type of decorums, what type of scenario will be there? Their another cultures, their local laws, um, their respiratory systems. So everything has to be considered, and accordingly, you have to train your pupils before deploy the employee to the other countries. Before they have to prepare a lot of things. That's why the international HRM is also important. Domestic HRM is different thing. That is already everybody knows what the things are required. But when we are talking about the international setup, maybe different viewpoint. So a lot of things has to be considered. Additional things have to be considered based on their environment, the country's environment, laws, government regulations. So have to consider the local people demands, their behavior patterns. Everything has to be considered. Then HR outsourcing. Going to the some of the people can be hired the peoples and go for different type of works. So that's why outsourcing nowadays very popular nowadays also. These all are the present emerging functions which are also a add-on to the HRM also. Then role and responsibility of the HR managers. What are the roles? So apart from the above mentioned functions of the HRM, these are some emerging functions. It is already repeated. Now, primary responsibility of the human resource management. What are the primary responsibilities? To develop a thorough knowledge of the corporate cultures, plans, and the policies. So, awareness and the develop the things that everybody should have enough knowledge about these things. I am talking about the managers here, actually human resource managers, to act as an internal change agent, because the manager should be act as a change agent. He can and consultant. So he should be not only the manager, he also a change agent. Things are coming, new things are coming, adaptability and knowledge. He has to adopt the availability that things are, you have to propagate and you have to train to the others through these awareness programs or training programs or by the discussion on that type of capacity should have. So, I mean, that type of response should have. Then initiate change and act as an expert and the facilitators. Then to actively involve in the company's strategy formulations. To keep the communication line open between HRD functions and the individuals and the groups, both within and outside the organizations. As a manager, as a HRM manager, you have a multi-taxing jobs, means manifold. You have a that capacity you have to build up. You have a good communicators, and you should know all the HRD functions. You have to communicate to the individuals and the groups, both way, and even in the management also. Outside organizations, you have to tie it up sometimes. Then you identify and they evolve the HRD strategies. You have to identify what are the new strategy for the development is required or not. That futuristic idea, it always should be triggered in your mind. Then your consonance and with overall business strategy also you have an idea. So that is the primary responsibility of a human resource manager. Now facilitate to the development of the various organizational teams, working relationships, and your then to try the related people with the work so that the organizational objectives can be fulfilled, achieved efficiently and effectively. You can achieve the things. Diagnose the problems and determine the appropriate solutions, particularly in the human resource area. That is also a very important part. As a manager, sometimes you are a doctor also. Means you have to diagnose the things why your subordinate is not working properly. He is not enough knowledge, or maybe due to some behavioral patterns has changed. So their root cause, you have to identify it. So for that, you should have an analytical idea. Logically, you have to see it. So that's why you have to have a diagnosis power. You have to diagnose the problems and solve the things, determine the things, and take appropriate solutions. To provide the coordinations and the support for the delivery of the HRD programs, that is also very important, and the services. So, many managers should have a good coordinator also. In one sentence, I can say the manager should have a good coordinator also. He has to see the subordinate part also. At the same time, you have to interact, see the HRM program, HRD program, what type of program calendar-wise is required for the subordinates of different department employees, where they can fit for this calendar year training programs, so that they can develop. So to evaluate and impact the HRD interventions, or to conduct the research so as to identify, develop, and test how HRD in general has improved individual and organizational performance. So that's why time to time you have to evaluate it. So you have to evaluate it and to conduct the research also. So maybe through this discussion, the employees taking a feedback by the question answer sessions, you have to take them. Finally, you have to gather all the inputs and analyze it. Or otherwise, you can hire the consultant through these expert people. You have to see and how to develop the individuals, and in turns, how to develop the organizational performance also. So this is also very much important. Now, emerging roles of the HR managers. You see the administrative HR practices. What are the HR practices? Legal compliances, forms, and the paperwork. Then operational actions are there. There's some there action managing employees, relationship issues, and employee advocate. Then strategic HR organizational part, business, and HR strategies. Evaluation of the HR and effectiveness. These are all some of the roles are given in some block diagram through this way. Now, see some similarist framework model. I can see model we can see that's the business model. You can see framework model is a business strategy. It is see there are some of the part is there. If you see the corporate visions are there, then another side your HR soft skills. Soft skills mean style, staff, style in the sense of leadership styles we can talk in. Then staff, skill, subordinate goals. These all are your soft skills. And hard skills, HR hard skills were then strategy, then your structure, systems, all are hard skills. So in the corporate visions, based on these soft skills and hard skills, business strategy is there. Finally, the organizational effectiveness. Ultimately, through this framework model, to reach the organizational effectiveness, how to increase our organizational effectiveness. That is one of the model. This is the McKinsey model. That McKinsey has already implemented the things. Then after that, he has done this thing. After the successful of his framework, he prepared as a model. Then human resource management, the functions, there's an intellectual, the HR manager as an educator. Again, as a manager, what things? The manager discriminator, he can discriminate things. Then a manager should have an executive, manager as a leader, manager as a humanistic, because that is empathy, sympathy, all the things should be there. Human resource manager as a visionary, he can vision the things, can foresee the future of the things. So all these qualities or characteristics you can see or functions that should be HRM managers. Now strategy and HRM, you can see that is your strategy basically regarded as a more than decisions, also in putting choice into practice. However, regarding the HR management, these organizations, there are two basic type of strategies there. One is competitive business strategy, which involves the choice making and how to serve their customers better. That is one of the focus on the customers satisfaction. That is one of the things, so that your business will be competitive. And second thing is the human resource strategy that involves choice making regarding the management and the people within the organizations. So there are two aspects is there. The strategy are bifurcated in two parts. One thing focus on the business strategy, where you have to see the services, see the customers, customer satisfaction and delivery, what things you are delivering, the things that is should be competitive. And second part is what are the resources you have, make a strategy so that they can make a good people and they can also participate this business strategy part. So individual development is very important. So this is the way strategy have to. Yeah. Now ethics are part is there. Ethics, HR practitioners play the major role in keeping disseminating the enforcing the your organizational ethics. Some area of the ethical misconduct involving the HR activities are basically the compensation package, where some ambiguities, sometimes salaries and all these things. Because of that, sometimes the ethics are deteriorating. Employee relations are one of the area where the activities are involving for the misconduct, and ultimately the ethicals noise we can say or the disturbance are there. Stopping and the equal employment. If we see the good compensation package, if we have a good employee relations, then stopping and the equal employment, then definitely misconduct will be reduced. Ethically, you can say it's the good ethics of the company. So ethics are impacted by these factors. HR outsourcing, the concept of the outsourcing is familiar to us for the BPO. As we know, the BPO business process outsourcing, simply we can say that another party or third party to carry out some of the works for a specific business purposes, operations and functions. If the competent team is not there, or maybe due to shortage of time, sometimes company are outsourcing the works to the expert group of people, consultant or something. They can prepare the things and they can submit it in times. So there is lot of conditions are there why go for the outsourcing. Challenges are basically the challenges facing the HR is there are two perspectives, the internal and the external. There are two things are there. Just consider the original challenges. There are internal natures issues, that is emanating from the organizations due to your restructuring and organizational culture, outsourcing, downsizing, decentralization. Because of that, there is one of the challenge are there. That time people mentality, their reactions will be different. So that is one of the facing the challenges facing by the HR manager. Suppose you are declaring the new computer, latest computer will be coming in the department. So definitely some reaction will come. Those who are old or traditionally they have done something, no, I cannot do it. I am not accustomed of these things. So fear of job loss there will be there. So this is a challenge for the sometimes the restructuring time or culturing time. These are all other factors for the decentralizations is another important. So these are all the challenge of the HR part. Now, environment challenge is also there because the issues are because the legislation, lot of rule and regulations at time to time. I mean, enforces basically globalization. One of the pressure, then your labor demands, supply ratios are not there. Work diversity is another issue. Individual challenges, then your employee development, insecurity. I mean, chances of job loss always, the reward systems are not good, basically the compensation packages. So which are all these things that affect the organizational performance. Because if we always the environmentally you are challenging, so that is one of the basically the major manager challenging nowadays. Then your external environment is there, external environment is government rule and regulations, as I said, economical conditions, then some of the legal factors, political pressures, economy, so all are your external part. Internal compensation, employee relations, customer satisfaction is not there, structural problems, business strategies, all are, and top management not taking interest sometimes, that is also a part of your factors. Then some of the strategic management you have to incorporate it so that we can have a better things. That some of the approaches are there. There is organizational identification, then environmental analysis, strategic formulations, implementations, and evaluation. This is the way we can some of the reduce that type of differences. So, and some of the objectives of the organization are there. There's a meeting the demand and international market. Then you're achieving the flexibility, adaptability to the dynamics at the short period. Some international matters we have to sort it out. In other way, see the competition, the competitive advantage and global market through this way and see the boundary, because when you are across the international boundaries, you have to consider world people also. So there are things. So that's why some planning, hiring, staffing, same thing. What are the domestic systems we are doing? Same thing. But apart from that, better way you have to see the basically the training programs are very different way you have to train them. If additional training is required so that they can go there and work better way. Some issues are also there interesting. There's globalization issues, environmental issues, cultural differences is also important. You have to know their languages. These all are part of some of the issues in the international management. There are different phases are there. Development phases, phase 1, phase 2, different phase 3. There are different phases you have to develop the HR analytically. Then some of the industrial revolutions, machinery revolution, then second industrial revolutions, and then third is digital environments, and now high level concept. Gradually we are coming in the things, 3D printing, and now slowly the AI is coming. So artificial intelligence are coming also in the pictures. So that is the things that there. So this is the way I think now I have to try to cover up the block 1, and I think in the next session we can see for your block 2 in details. So okay, I think now can finish it up the block 1. Okay, thank you.